And we are live again. So sorry for that. My internet dropped everything. Ah, curses!
It happens. Hey, this is a new thing. So
Yeah, so I've got a little configuration to do on my end and stuff. But sorry to everybody out there. Thanks for tuning back in for part 2 of this nail biting interview and stuff. And thanks again, Dennis, for being a good sport and hanging in there with me.
yeah.
The question I was trying to get out before everything crashed was, with so many disciplines and so many cogs in the wheel, it's easy for something to be derailed. How do you curb that?
You really can't. It's hard to prepare for. I mean, you do the best you can. I mean, you have production boards that I put together, and if anybody knows what those are, but they're just, it's just a way. It's a blueprint to your film and how you're going to actually pull this off. How you're going to get your crew together. Getting the times of your actors all coordinated. Scheduling is very hard. Locations. All these things are very difficult. And you have to, coordinate them and get them all together. And it's just difficult. On top of then creating some artistic end of it too. Keeping track of what your artistic vision was is another element. But I think that for me, I had started, as a painter, and as a painter, we do everything. Most of us do everything ourselves. I mean, there's some exceptions. Picasso worked with Braque in developing synthetic cubism, and then you have someone like Boris Vallejo and Julie Bell, who are married, but they collaborate together. He's an illustrator, so is she. And
I love their work.
Yeah, but for the most part, we don't as artists. I mean, I said, I would sit in my studio and I would paint my work, and it was just me. I did everything. I stretched my canvas, and sometimes I even made my own paints, which you can do.
Yep.
So when it came to filmmaking, I approached it the same way, which is that I didn't go to film school, so there's something to be said out of ignorance. You sort of approach things in a new way. You learn new things because you didn't know any better. You do something in a new way. But I wanted to control everything, so I did all the makeups in Rage of the Mummy except for the old man makeup that we had, and that was done by Kevin Ward, and because that was beyond my abilities, and so I did.
Kevin's
the makeups.
Great.
I did all the set pieces, and I like I said, I did all the lighting, I did the camera work, and then I also did all the animation, all the paintings you saw in the movie. I did all those paintings, all those background paintings, everything that was in it, the animation, which I think I said, and then I composed all the music. So, it was just a lot of work on top, and then I was acting in it, and directing on top of it. So it was a lot to handle.
Lots of hats.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it, and I think and then the money that went into it, which you don't see, but it's there. It costs money to do all that. And there's always things that don't go right, like this drop that we had. There are disasters all the time, but there are good things that happen out of disasters. There are good things that happen out of limitations. You find a new way, and sometimes it's for better. It's for the better, and I think that's what's fun. Now, what I liked about filmmaking, as opposed to doing just doing painting, is that it's a collaborative effort, and I really do. I really welcome anyone with suggestions when I'm on set. I listen to everything. A lot of times what I do is I'll say, well, okay, let's do the way I have it scripted, but let's try your way too, so we can do as many takes as we want, because it's cheap. I mean, it's not like film where, it costs, now it's cheap to do film. We don't even say film, we should just say movies, but it's cheap. We can just do another take, as many as we need. And, so I enjoy it because of that collaboration. A lot of great things happen out of it, even with language, dialogue too. I like my actors to improv things, and it just, because it comes out natural, they force them into something that really isn't the character. But anyway, so that's what I, that was sort of the difference between the two disciplines. I really get a real charge out of the excitement of working with all those people, and because you're creating this film history. It's great. I just love it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's cool. Something that kind of reminded me too is like, with limitations breed innovation. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. Yeah, I believe that 100% because I know I've experienced it. It's happened to me,
Yeah.
many times. And other people in other sets, we've done that. We've improvised and turned out to be a better choice. Not
Yeah.
always, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Changes the movie. It's almost like painting because painting, when you start to work on something, the painting kind of dictates to you what direction to go with.
Right.
And sometimes when you're on the set, same thing happens. You have that movie, you think, oh, it'll tell you something else, and you start creating. You just can't control it, and I think you would drive yourself crazy if you try to. You lose your temper and you try to control all the elements. You just can't. Dogs barking, somebody's got the weed whack going, or something, cars and motorcycles, and you're trying to control that sound, and you can't. You just realize you're gonna have to ADR it or wild it, do a wild take later.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes those are good things. Sometimes those happen, although they don't seem like it at the time. But
Right.
later, you'll find out that they do. There are some exceptions, but
that's cool. With your previous work with your documentaries, are those available online or Blu-ray?
I believe they are. I don't own them anymore. They're not mine. I've sold them out, so they're not mine. I think you can still find them, and you can find used copies as well. So they're still available, especially the last one, which is the Horror Monster model kits. That one is available. You can find it on Amazon.
Oh, sweet.
No problem. I don't think they've ever put it up on Amazon for streaming, but the DVD is still available. And the other one, it's a little rare to find, but you can find it. It just that there just hasn't been a lot of interest in the museum, So it was okay when it came out, but now it's popular in its own right, but it doesn't have international fame or anything like that. So
I was just thinking
actors in it.
Yeah, I was just thinking it'd be fun to host a watch party for some of that, some of your previous work, while we wait for Rage of the Mummy to come out in September.
Yeah, no, I don't have the rights to that, so that's something that I couldn't do.
Okay,
and I can't even do it with the Rage of the Mummy because we have to wait for that one too.
Right.
So if I had more material, I would, but I just don't at this time. But I'm getting there. We're getting there. So I've got 2 movies underway, and I'll be shooting. I'm teaming up actually with a guy named Joe DeMiro.
Okay.
And he put out a movie called Tales of Dracula, and that one is available. And that I haven't helped him on that, but that's to show you the person I'm teaming up with. And it's available on YouTube for free. Tales of Dracula. He's now working on part 2. They should have that out, I think, sometime in October. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But when that one's done, we'll be shooting something completely different from what they had been doing. And it will be next summer for this werewolf movie. And I'm really excited because we have access to things that I had never had before. This is the whole town is behind this, and I'm looking very much forward to it. This is going to be a much bigger budget film.
Great.
And it's going to look a lot better. And it's inevitable. It just happens. You just keep working. Eventually, you get more people want to work with you. You get bigger budgets, and you just grow from there. As a filmmaker, and your productions hopefully get better. So
nice.
That's where I'm going with it.
That's cool. Well, I'm looking forward to what you do with the werewolf movie. Werewolf films are such a hard thing to really do. It seems like maybe it's the hair.
Yeah. And we'll have plenty of makeup artists for that. So I won't have to do any of that, which is good because it'll free me up to do what I really just need to do, which is just direct the film.
Yeah.
Write it and direct it. And so it is hard to do a good, and there's so many, and I've watched so many werewolf movies, and I still have to say, I think the American Werewolf in London is still my favorite.
It's
movie.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you talked, looks like Angela Joseph said, "Thank you for your art." So that's nice. Angela's she's a friend of mine. She's a local film producer and produces some amazing stuff with Joseph Kelly, and I think they're working on they just finished up Clown Motel, and I think they're working on the follow-up.
Oh wow, okay, cool. Yeah, I have a clown story in my anthology.
Oh, nice.
Just because people say you should do one on a clown, and it's really not my generation so much. And I really love Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh my God, that's such a great movie.
But I just kind of like lost about what to do with it. But I finally did. I finally got my clown movie, and so I'm very proud of that one and very happy about doing it. So I do like clown movies. I do. I love them. Terrifier is a great one that's out now, and Terrifier
is incredibly popular.
I know.
Yeah, number 2, I think, is supposed to be coming out in October. I don't know if that's still going to be the case, due to coronavirus.
Yeah, I heard about it as well, and I'm sure he'll get it out there.
Yeah.
What's his name? Dante Leone or something like that. Can't remember his name. The guy who made the movie. I think it is. Yeah. Anyway.
Angela posted #clowns. Oh yes, LOL.
I have some small pieces of artwork I can just show you real quick if you wanted to see something. If you don't mind me getting.
Oh yeah. If you've got something, sure. Look at that backdrop. That's pretty cool. I wish I had my bedroom like that.
Oh, so here's kind of an idea of what I'm talking about.
Nice.
So it's kind of, tight work,
Yeah.
Kind of different. But anyway, that's kind of the surrealistic work.
Okay.
Those are small. I actually have larger stuff. I've worked on murals. Actually, I've done some murals and things like that over the years. I've got a lot of painting, but I just can't show you everything.
Right.
But just to give you an idea of the kind of weirdness that I do.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like Joseph Kelly just chimed in with a lot of clown emojis. Oh, man. The werewolf thing, the anthology, man, you've got a lot of irons in the fire, so to speak. So that's pretty fun. We'd love to, have you on, do like a, panel or workshop, once we get, Colorado Festival of Horror,
absolutely, yes,
up and going for our first year. We'd love to see about doing some programming and panels and stuff. Talk about, maybe painting, and the transition into filmmaking. I think that's a really fun perspective that a lot of people really don't consider.
Yeah, it really helps a lot. There's really, I would just say that the principles are still the same. It's just a different medium.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is that you still have composition, you have texture, you have color. All those elements still are there, and they really help me as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
As tools for directing. It really did. Even in writing, you have same thing. Even in music, you have colorization. You have all those things that still apply. There are certain principles that still apply. They're not rules. They're just guides, and they really help me. I think the one that I take is the idea of diversity with unity, and if you can balance those two and apply it to anything, whether it's painting, writing, or whatever, filmmaking, it really helps a lot. And that's what I've always used as a guide to help me no matter what I'm doing. And it seems to be the best. It creates the best aesthetic anyway.
Yeah.
When you have not too much diversity and not too much unity, you have to have a balance of those. And it really helps, I think, a lot. Anyway, it's helped me.
That's cool. Well, yeah, you mentioned your documentaries can be found on Amazon and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How can people reach out to you, or do you have a website?
I don't. I don't even visit websites. I don't know how many people do anymore. I mean, I imagine they do, but Facebook is good for me. That's all. I've been on Instagram, but I don't even keep up with it. I'm just. I don't really get the difference between the two, other than Instagram is I just see mostly photos go up, and I think there's more interaction on Facebook, but then I'm an older person too, so we tend to like Facebook more. So you can find me on Facebook, just Dennis Vincent, here in Denver. I think there's a lot of Dennis Vincents, but mine's in Denver, so you'll probably find me that way. That's the only way. The movies that I have listed also are other movies that I attempted to make, and they will get done. I mean, once I get the money, I will fund them.
Yeah.
Which is Creepy Island. There is a page for that. There is a page for the Cosmic Creature, which I was going to bring him out. I have this large 6'3" monster, large, hairy monster. It took me 4 months to create. It was a lot of work. It's a foam fabrication. It's been haired and everything, and that was for a movie that I have written and hopefully I will make. It's along the lines of I tend to like a lot of the old American international pictures, a lot of the Roger Corman things.
Yep.
So I like anything, the Wasp Woman. She Creature is one of my all-time favorites.
Nice.
And that's kind of what this movie is. The She Creature is a little bit of that in a movie called Fright Night. I'm sorry, Night Fright.
Night Fright. Okay.
It's Fright Night and Night Fright, and they get confusing. But Fright.
I know Fright Night.
Fright Night is the one with Roddy McDowall.
Yep.
About the werewolf. Not werewolf, but the vampire.
Vampire.
And that's not the one. There's another one with John Agar in it, and it's a low production film called Night Fright. Just the other way around. Now it came out in '67.
Oh.
So that movie was the inspiration for The Cosmic Creature for me.
Oh, and, cool.
It's about a rocket ship that goes up in space, and then there were some animals on it, and they kind of become mutated in the air, and the ship crashes, and then it creates havoc on the small town. And that's the story, and John Agar is the sheriff. So I made a movie that was inspired from that idea. I mean, I want to make a movie inspired. I already have the script, and I'm going to make this movie.
Cool.
So those are on Facebook too. So it's The Cosmic Creature, and what else? I say? Yeah, Creepy Island, and the other one is my new one, which is called Discord. But that one, the name will change. Just
Okay, cool. Well, that's fantastic. Man, you've got so much going on. I appreciate you taking the time, and also for the technical difficulties, which that was one. Yeah. I'm getting tongue-tied. Oh my God. And then coming back to follow up and do the sequel to the first part of the interview.
Okay. No, it wasn't a problem. No, I get it. I mean, we run into a lot of technical issues, especially when I can't get sound. Everybody's on set, and I do a lot. I help for a lot of people. Sometimes we trade work. Sometimes I work for independents here and trade off. They help me on something, I help them on something, or sometimes they're paid. I go and I do a lot of sound work for a lot of people.
Oh, that's great.
There's everybody waiting on me, and it's like suddenly my Tascam's not working.
Well, that's great, but that also creates a much tighter, community. Doing that, helping each other out.
It does. I mean, and I think that's one way, because I've heard criticism about the Denver, filmmakers, and that we're not a tight community and stuff like that. But I think you have to understand, as filmmakers, we tend to be independent anyway. I mean. If you're going to collaborate, you want to make your own film. It's fun to work on somebody else's film, and that's fun. But you want to do your own movie, and so I think we're looking for people that are willing to work on our films, and not want to get the bug and go somewhere else and do their own film. You're looking forward to try to create a group of people that want to do, and will continue to work with you. That's it's hard to just put down your project and go help somebody on their feature. So I think that's what keeps us all separated, is that we're busy on our own project. I don't mind to go and step in for a few days, and I do this quite often with people. Actually, there was an anthology just last year I worked on for just 2 days. I just did 2 days on that during the summer, and that was fun. I enjoyed it, but it didn't take me a lot away from my project. I still got to know them and everything. But if I was to be on their set every day or go through the whole thing, I'm not doing my project. I'm doing their project. And that's how all these other filmmakers feel the same way. It's okay to visit the sets and talk to people and all that, but you're just kind of busy doing your own thing. Really, I don't know how tight we can be, as independents, if we're doing our own thing. And but we have filmmakers that we get. Actors that we get tight with, because they work everywhere. They go all over the place looking to work with anybody, or anybody they can, or anybody they believe in. They can finish the project.
Looks like Dave Bailey says hi, and wow, Angela is really typing up a storm. Summer explains me. Okay, looks like she shared this with something. Angela is mentioning that they ran into some sound issues while working on a feature film called Compatible. So so they totally understand and
yeah. And
they're
that's
always
one thing I learned a lot was a lot of technical. So that's one thing I get called for a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of the technical things, and things go wrong. They just go wrong because they're instruments, and they go
Right.
wrong. But I took a lot of classes, a lot in audio, and I just learn everything I can on technical issues,
Mm-hmm.
just because I want to try to bring the best production I can. So it's just something that interests me, and I get to be kind of a geek about it. I think, which is a good thing because you at least you don't have to rely on too many people. That's the reason I learned so much. Because I don't want to rely on somebody else. And I know so many filmmakers say, well, I can't edit that. I can only do a basic edit. They don't know how to do any kind of, special effects or anything. They don't know how
That's
to do
me.
how to process audio signals, how to put EQ on it, things like that. It takes a lot of time. I understand it because it takes years to learn it. But it's always good because at least you know how to do it yourself. You don't always have to rely on someone. And I did that for Rage of the Mummy. I did all of that's mine. All post-production work is all my work. I did all the special effects, everything. And it's kind of maddening, but it just at least that I know when I start to let go of that stuff. Like the next time that I'll be working next summer, I at least have an insight to what they're doing. And say, okay, I don't know if they're doing it right, or it's like, no, I think you should do this because I know it can be done. But it takes the burden away from me where I can concentrate just on the directing and trying to get the best feature I can, but at least have some knowledge of it, and I think that's a good place to be. When you're too dependent on too many people, you're kind of in a bad situation, that if I don't know how to use the camera, I don't know anything about focus. How do I pull focus? I don't even know anything about exposure. How do I get exposure? We're getting too much exposure. Well, you need an ND filter. Well, what's an ND filter? All these things that go on they don't know about.
Any tiny little thing that can just make things go haywire.
You can learn all this stuff on YouTube.
Oh, that's fantastic. We should probably go ahead and wrap up. And man, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming back on.
Absolutely, no, I don't mind at all. No, it was fun. But this is my first time I've ever gone on Skype. This is my first time.
Oh, okay. So welcome to the future. We're still ironing things out.
I know. No, they'll get better. But it was great. I enjoyed this. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Oh, Angela is asking, what is your name? Angela, it is Dennis Vincent, and he's the director of Rage of the Mummy. So that'll be coming out.
Or you can find my work on the IMDb as well.
On IMDb?
I have a lot of things on there. So.
Yeah, and feel free to reach out to him, Angela. He's on Facebook, so or I can always put you in touch with each other. So cool. Thanks so much, Dennis. Go ahead and stay on for a little bit.
Sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and then I'll hit the stop record button. So we won't be live anymore.
All right.
We'll be dead. No, undead.
Yes, I hope so.
Yes. Okay. Thanks again to my guest, Dennis Vincent, for joining us for part 1 and part 2 of this interview for COFOH Live and Undead. I'm your host, Daniel Crosier. You guys have a good night.